So guys, we're going to discuss the study of changes in companies of management in research and motion company and its relation to investors and analysts who consider these changes to be signals of company's future results. So let's get started. First, I'd like to tell just a few words about this company. It is a famous producer of BlackBerry smartphones and all the needed applications. BlackBerry was founded in 1984 by Michael Lavidis, who currently is the vice chair of the board of directors. And the company is listed in the NASDAQ in US, and it is listed also in Canada in the Toronto Stock Exchange. So the thing is that for a long time these two guys, Lazaridis and Basili, who was the Italian, were two CEOs of RIM. But the company had a very, very bad performance, and the results were extremely bad when they had struggled for a long time with Apple and Google, and did not succeed in their battle. So investors wanted the company management to change, especially these two guys were also called as two-headed beast. So finally, 1.5 year passed, and they appointed on 22nd of January another guy who is Thorsten Heins, who was first who made his career something like 20 years in Siemens Corporation in Germany. Then he moved to RIM and was COO in RIM for 4 years. What is a rational investor might do in this situation? He will think, okay, that's great, these two guys who are beat faded away, that's great, I will buy. But the situation was radically another one. Investors and analysts were very skeptical to this change. They said that Heins was a complete insider of the company, and Basili and Lazaridis would tell Heins what to do during all his time of being executive, top executive. Even analysts made many skeptical and critical considerations, and I quoted some things that they said regarding this appointment. While we think this is a small step in the right direction, we are surprised that RIM has decided to go with an operations-minded insider, especially since we consider the challenges tied more to strategy. That was said by UBS analysts. All the other analysts, like Martin Wolf, president of Martin Wolf LLC in California, told something almost the same thing. They all insisted that the company is not independent, and that Tom Heins is not independent also. And you can see on this beautiful comics or something like this that there are Lazaridis and Basili who are telling, okay, we're leaving, that's great, investors, you should be glad realized. But then, I don't remember, but I hope this was really, he said, but still we will take control of the company. And then, as I read it, is annoyed with his announcement because they were trying to conceal the truth. So you can see here the reaction on not that close of the company. It is 23rd of January when it was tremendous fall of 8.47%. Because investors were disappointed and they did not believe that the company would be independent. And to my mind, this is quite a good example of the rational behavior of our investors. But they think that background of the company, background as Thomas Heins is insider and follower of the past, his percent of the past course of the company. He will not manage to make company do the same revenues and growth as they did before in 2010, for example, when it was quite popular and RAM presented a big amount of good smartphones. So in Weber and Taylor in their paper Does the Stock Market Overreact? Say that people systematically overreacting to unexpected and dramatic news events and that results in substantial weak form inefficiency in the stock market. So market agents obviously overreacted to this announcement of an appointment. Also, investors are stuck with their past performances and are unable to use the new information because for a long time, for about half a year, RAM was in a bull trading market. You can see here this growth dynamic from April 2011. It was quite negative for a long time. So investors are stuck with this information and they don't believe company is going to get well with the new CEO's appointment. Though this is what they wanted. This is what they asked to do when it was a meeting of board of directors, when it was meetings with investors. So it is anchoring and it is representativeness heuristic. I believe so. Also, here you can see changes of growth during several days. The most tremendous was the 8.47 for Nasdaq. For Toronto, it was 9.11. And the next day it was another fall of 3.53 and 3.19. That means that market is inefficient, like in the article, inefficient market is called inefficient hypothesis. I don't remember quite the name, but it was a graphic that showed that in inefficient market, arrangement is made not is made slowly. So the next one is actually in my work I consider two phases of of investors' reaction. The first one is what I told just about, and another one was very unexpected growth for about almost 9%. The next day, the very next day, January 25th, because of the not approved information on the block of one guy. It was not an official information that a new version of BlackBerry will be produced in September, though it has to be produced just this quarter. So investors believe that unapproved information is a good signal, though they don't believe that announcement of appointment of a good guy is a good signal. So this is my presentation. Please ask your questions if you have them.
All right.